We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next issue of Icons of the Wider World here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me is Brian playing the Monkey King, Curtis playing Emundan.
Imadan.
Imudan. I'll get it right after a few minutes. It's weird, I was saying it right earlier, I think, but we have Turkey playing Slapshot, Zach playing
Howdy.
Wolf Witch,
Hello.
and Anna playing the Architect. We are short one player for Everlast, but he should belong directly. Alright. So we had to skip what would have been our last session. So it's been a month since we played. And I think at least 2 players weren't here then. So, who remembers what happened?
We were all called together by the Crucible to deal with the magical end of the extra-dimensional invasion.
Correct. You had wrapped up, well, just for the folks that weren't here, the first part of last session, we wrapped up the fight with the, I guess, street-level heroes, or the miscellaneous heroes in the Sea of Rhodes Ferry. Let's see. One of your enemies turned out to be immortal, as best you can guess. At least he took a hitter off a building, kind of went splat, and then later on had gotten up and was trying to get away. Street Shark, I believe, leveled part of the building they were standing on by mistake.
Is anyone surprised?
No. With things coming up out of the ground, though, I think you were able to kind of push that off to the media as that may have been something they did. The invaders did. But you managed to save the people that were on the rooftop.
That's what attorneys and PR reps are for.
But yeah, nobody's digging too deep into that story because you did save all the people on the rooftop. You saved a couple police officers, you know. It was like one little apartment building. And a lot of windows in some of the surrounding buildings. But wrapping that up, we then moved over to Savannah, Georgia, where another mishmashed group of heroes had all received letters. Some of them were left on their kitchen tables, some of them were left on their bedside tables, some were left in their sanctums, if you will. All with an address to meet at this nice house in Savannah, Georgia. They were ushered in, I should say, by a young man whose name I know I wrote down. But it's been a month, so I'm not even sure what page he's on. May have been a Matthew something. Anyway, young man. That as soon as he shut the door behind you, he had gone from being in a suit, looking kind of business casual, or not business casual, but typical office worker kind of suit. The second the door shut, though, he's standing there in robes, ushers you through this house, into a study where you met a man who answered to the name of the Crucible and wore a particular suit of armor. Do I still have... There we go. We'll go ahead and flash that up again. The two immortal or long-lived magic users in the party, the Architect and the Wolf Witch, I want to say they both recognized him. Let's see. refresh my memories. The architect that goes back to like the Crusades, right? Or did she not go back that far?
Anna?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How old was the architect?
Oh, shoot. Let me look.
'Cause
The one
Is it? Yes. She was born around 1100.
okay. So I want to say she was the oldest one in the party. Because Wolfwitch was only, 100 years old? A couple hundred years old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, both of them being magic users for a very long time. Knew the Crucible. I want to say the architect may have even had interactions with him. Stole the design of his helmet. He's mystical warrior type. Kind of a Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate type. Sightings of him go back at least as far as the Crusades. Further back than that, there is rumors of a similar sort of warrior, though he was not using that Crucible name, and descriptions of him vary a little bit. But the accounts that far back aren't real reliable. But of course, the party had seen the news about the invasion. He explains the mystical nature of it, that it's coming from another world. And he has essentially assembled this team as a strike force to go in and shut down some of the magic on the other side that's allowing this to happen. He would go himself, but there's simply no way a mystic of his power could pass through without being immediately detected. And, there was a discussion with him, and essentially the game wrapped with the party walking through this portal he had created. He had mentioned that there were a couple of people he'd given invitations to that had not made it. And that's where we'll start up with Monkey King and Imadan. I don't know why I'm just calling him Dan, I know it. Though I was running another game, also an Icons game, I think about it, where one of the characters was running around as this golem robot thing named Osnadurta. It took me, some kind of Celtic name, it took me forever to figure that one out.
Yeah, well, to blend in, he actually does have, a street name, Vesper Ignis, which, just, totally normal.
That blends in about like Ford Prefect from Picture. Oh no, this is supposed to be a perfectly human name. So anyway, the two of you arrive a little late. A young man comes hustling out of the building. Oh good, you made it. We were afraid you wouldn't. Come quick. The boss can catch you up before you have to go.
Okay, I follow him in.
We're going. We just got here.
I know. I hate to rush you, but the rest of them are already passing through the portal.
We'll follow.
All right. Now, Monkey King, both of you would be more or less immortal, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Monkey King has slept for a good long time, though.
About how long?
Oh, a couple thousand years.
Okay. Do you have any? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, technically, Imadan is immortal. He's been on Earth for an indeterminate amount of time.
Okay. But both of you would be kind of tapped into the occult scene.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you follow the young man. Nice house. You follow him through the house, out the back, into this hedge maze thing. When you get to the center area, and it's one of those mazes, kind of done in a circle, like you used to get the little toys that would have a marble, and you try to get the marble to the center. It's similar design to that. As he hustles you through, A lot of times you think you can hear something rustling either in the bushes or on the other side, but you never run across anybody else until you get to the center. In the center, you have a couple of rogue figures standing around. You have this man in a suit of armor. The young man ushering you is like, this is the Crucible. Mystic Protector. Sorry to rush you. Hey, boss. Here's our stragglers. The Crucible turns. He goes, thank you for coming. This may be a bit rushed, but I'm sure you have heard or seen the news reports of these invaders coming up out of the ground. They're actually invading from another dimension, another Earth ruled by sorcerer kings. I had put together a group of heroes to travel over and shut down some of the spells that they are using to send their troops here. I cannot go myself, as I would be too easily detected. Sending the two of you in is a little risky. You may be detected as well, given your natures. But it's a balancing act. I need to send enough people powerful enough to do the job, while hopefully not being immediately detected by this other world's ruler.
And so I'll look around. It's like invaders. I don't really watch the news.
The young man. Oh, I've got echo. Just kind of turns and looks at you. The guy's coming up out of the ground. You haven't seen anything on that. It's happening all over the world. There's like a giant monster attacking DC right now.
Sorry, I get a little preoccupied, but I'm good to go.
I will see it done.
If there's evil to be smited, we'll take care of it.
The young man still kind of shaking his head at you. The Crucible seems unfazed by this, but of course you can't see his face in the mask, so that probably helps. Or helmet, rather. He gestures towards this open gateway. It seems to just be misty and foggy. He tells you as you pass through, move straight forward, do not veer to the side, or you may fall off the path, and I would try to find you, but I don't know where you would end up. The rest of your party has moved on ahead. They should not be very far ahead of you, though.
I guess we better go catch up.
After you.
All right. As you walk forward, the fog is so thick that glancing down, you can't even see your own feet or the ground that you're walking on. Monkey King, you almost immediately lose sight of Imadan as you move forward. But you don't have to walk very far before you come out on the other side. This is the landscape you see. Or I should say, you're standing on the hill, and down below you is a city. Done up kind of... It reminds you of like ancient Middle Eastern cities with the flat-topped houses with the stairs on the outside to get up to the roof. And, clearly all these houses use the rooftop, space. out in the towards the center of the city, there's a huge tree, skyscraper size, stretching up into the sky. You're standing on a hill outside this. If you turn around, this is kind of the blasted landscape everything's in. Lots of cloud cover. You don't really see any direct sunlight making it through. Very few plants are growing. Down around the homes, you have a few gardens. They're not very lush looking. You figure the city has to have some sort of irrigation system, but you don't really see, where it's coming from. The exception being this one huge tree. It looks, quite healthy.
Lovely place. Reminds me of home. One of them, anyway.
All right, now for the rest of the party. We had ended last week. You had just walked through and you saw this cityscape. Where was it you were trying? How were you planning to approach the city?
I honestly do not recall. Yeah, I don't remember I don't imagine we're just gonna go waltzing down the middle of the road, though. I think we decided on alleys or something. Or is that the other group?
That was the other group. Like, we're trying to get to Yggdrasil specifically to kind of stay a ritual.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that part, but I just can't remember what we decided to do.
Yeah.
All right, so the party is basically standing around, kind of debating the best way forward. When two more figures appear, because if I recall, once you step out of the portal, you could no longer see it. You had kind of, taken in landmarks so you could find it again when it was time to leave. Because while he forgot to mention it to Monkey King and Imadan, I'll get it right eventually. The rest of you, he had told you he was going to be holding the portal open for you. For as long as possible.
It's a trap.
So when they step out, they just sort of appear. Brian, describe Monkey King for everybody.
He's I don't know, about 5'5"-ish, rather short, garbed in a kind of early Chinese dynasty robe, and he has kind of long pork chop sideburns. He does kind of look like a bit like a monkey, cross between a monkey and a man, and he's got a tail. And he carries a staff with him. He bows in greeting.
And Curtis, if you would describe your guy.
His appearance changes quite a bit, but right now he would look disappointingly plain. Although he's always one of his qualities is that he is stunningly beautiful because he's angelic. He looks like a plain young human. He would be brandishing a fiery mace. But other than that, he would look unsuper.
Oh, no friends. Hello.
You do remember the Crucible mentioning there were supposed to, or maybe the young man mentioning there were supposed to be a couple of others.
Yes.
I'm assuming you all were sent here by the Crucible as well.
Yes, we got here a little bit before you.
My letter was slow reaching me. I'm not easy to get a hold of.
And I arrived when I chose to.
I suppose he gave you the rundown of the situation.
Not quite.
Well, I have here, and she holds up the card with the ritual on it, a special little ritual which, when I cast it, will sever the connection between this world and our world. And to properly cast it, we need to get all the way over to, and she points to the giant tree, Yggdrasil.
Let's see now. Monkey King is divine, correct?
Yes. Like he thinks he is.
Let's see here. You've got the occult skill. Let's see. Does Curtis have the occult skill, or Imudan have the occult skill?
I don't think I gave Imudan any actual specialties.
Nope, but he makes up for it with the sheer amount of powers.
I mean, most of his abilities are extra dimensional.
Okay. Monkey King, by the size of the tree, and if there's supposed to be some sort of mystical something about it, you would be suspicious that this is a world tree.
Okay.
Though it looks like it's fully in the physical world, which would be a little odd. But...
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So as I said, you're up on a hill. Not a huge hill. This. It's got blasted plains, and you've got a few rolling hills kind of outside this town or the city. You see lots of movement. Down one of the main streets, you can see what looks like an army marching towards this gaping hole in the ground. Same kind of hole they've been coming out of on Earth. Let's see. As you stand there to watch, there seems to be some sort of commotion up towards the head of the army. Like they're engaging with something, or something is going on. It's far enough away you can't really make out the details, but at least that section of the city seems to be distracted by something.
I would advise we avoid that area, at least for now.
Really. Thank you for that valuable insight.
You're welcome, dear.
Oh yeah, for the players that arrived this session, at the base of the large tree seems to be this sort of temple university set up. It's pretty expansive, and it's built just all in and around the roots of this tree. Some of the construction looks fairly new. Some of it looks like it was there and then the tree grew out of it. Alright. How do you wish to approach the city?
Quietly and stealthily.
Okay.
I agree. I don't like the idea of being summoned to fight a war, but I'm all for stopping this evil and finding a way to sever the link between dimensions.
I think I'll actually try to turn us all invisible, or at least obfuscate us a little bit.
All right. What ability are you using?
Magic. So I'll have to roll to see if I can actually cast the spell before I can actually do it.
All right. So Wolf Witch. You have a magic of 7.
I'm gonna try and cast invisibility at rank 5.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Invisibility would be just on you. Or do you turn... Can you turn a group of people invisible with...
I should be able to do it as a stunt.
Yeah, but using a stunt would cost you a determination.
Which I'm willing to burn.
Anything you are wearing or carrying. Oh! I know what would probably work better for what you're trying to do.
Oh.
Alteration Ray.
Hmm.
Because the little short icons game I'm running, one of the guys actually has that. And his ability is he can use the ray to turn things invisible.
That's actually really clever. Yeah, I think I'll just try and copy Operation Ray then.
Alright.
Thanks.
And that way you can just spend multiple turns tapping everybody and then yourself.
Thank you, sir.
However, you do have to make the occult roll, intelligence occult, to make sure you can cast the spell correctly.
Alright, I'm going for it.
And the difficulty is based on the rank of the power you're going for, I think.
And I'm trying to copy it at rank 5.
So that is an 11.
I could shape change to make myself look like, or sort of look like one of those creatures. It would still look like Imodan, but it would look like Imodan if he was one of those creatures.
Congratulations. You now look like Recluse.
Alright, you have successfully cast
They-
your spell.
They all thought Recluse was a hottie, though.
Well, he was at least symmetrical. A lot of them aren't symmetrical.
Yeah.
And that'd be based off coordination, correct? Technically a range attack.
Oh, yeah. If they're not resisting, don't worry about it.
Alright.
You know, they're just sitting here going, Inviso me. So the rest of you see Wolf Witch cast a spell, and then, with your permission, we'll start turning you invisible. Now, how do you plan to keep up with each other as you move into town?
Probably should all just hold hands and walk in a line.
It's like, yeah, like kindergarten. That's a good idea.
Across this blasted, rocky, uneven surface. All right, you make your way into town. At the outskirts, it's all houses. This is not a good map at all. But I couldn't find good pictures of the kind of houses I wanted. I couldn't find... What I wound up finding.
Any map is a good map.
And honestly, the houses all look kind of like how I picture them with our spear group. So
You
I
know,
call it good.
I could not find pictures. I could not find art of that style of house. Those are
Adobe?
actually pictures where somebody had done miniature terrain for it.
Huh.
I really just wanted to show you the map's really only important at this point, unless y'all pick a fight in town, just to make sure everybody knew what kind of houses I was talking about. Now, where those look like stone, the ones you're passing look more like they're made out of some kind of adobe, or at least there's an outer coating, kind of an adobe-like coating. Everything looks, kind of medieval, biblical era or whatever you want to call it. Like you would think would fit this kind of house. The people are mostly moving about doing their own business. You're staying off the main road, so you're not really running into any of the armies. But even these common people, they're all terribly twisted and mutated, misshapen arms, different lengths. There's not really a one that doesn't have at least a slight limp because their legs don't quite even out. A lot of them look like they have boils or growths. These are not a healthy looking people. But it's a town. You have little markets set up here and there, selling goods. You have children running around and playing. You don't notice much in the way of pets. Or really any animal that, isn't in like the meat market.
Didn't they have a few pack animals?
Yeah, they would have to have something, yeah. Something akin to oxen, probably. Maybe something like camels, just because that would fit in the environment.
Beasts of burden, but no pets. So either a cultural prescription against it, or the situation is so desperate, anything that isn't food or a tool is discarded.
Where what you saw in the news reports, you saw, a lot of the troops coming through had some sizable bulk to them. Some of them were kind of big and if not healthy looking, at least well fed looking. The villagers are all pretty scrawny. Passing a market, you can't see or you can't understand the language. But it seems like the most haggling is over the produce. You don't know if it's more valuable because of the environment. Which would still lead to the question of, well, what are they feeding the animals then? But like I said, if you don't understand the language, they're let's see. Monkey King would be old enough, but not from that part of the world. Anna, the architect. Give me an intelligence roll for the architect.
Okay.
Never mind.
Even Dan will point out that even in hell, demons keep pets.
I mean, it's human souls, that we put in animal suits, but it still counts. Well, and cats. All dogs go to heaven, but not so with cats.
The cats aren't damned to hell. They just
That would be a great cartoon. All cats.
No. They're not damned. They're just sort of there wandering around.
They watch, knock stuff.
They probably rule.
Chew
Yeah,
on my
right.
They lay on your table and you can't physically remove them.
Oh my god, it's heaven for them.
Yeah, we were trying to play. Don't know if any of y'all ever played this board game called Betrayal in the Betrayal in the House on the Hill.
I've heard of it. I've never
You know,
played
you
it.
start you lay down these tiles as you explore this house, and eventually, you trigger the haunt, and one of the players turns out to be the traitor, and they're the monster. But the game we played last night, the monster was a merman trying to escape while the rest of us were trying to eat him and gain immortality. So it was kind of a flop where the traitor really wasn't the bad guy that go around. But their cat was constantly jumping up on the table, and it wouldn't lay down on the tiles, but it would walk across them, knocking all over the place, and then go flop down on its owner's cards that they had laid out.
Doing its job.
Yeah.
He'll usually do that just a little bit, but he was bad about it last night. Of course, there was some thundering going on, so he may have been a little freaked out. Not as bad as their dogs. But anyway, back to my point. Which I completely lost where I was segueing into that. Oh, yes, we were discussing cats in the hill.
Looks like Mike is logging in.
Oh, good. All right. About 15 minutes away. Oh, okay. Groovy. All right. So anyway, Architect made the roll. Didn't roll quite good enough. So for the Architect, something about this language seems familiar. Though you don't understand any of the...
Would you?
Oh, what was that,
The
Andy?
useful qualities.
Oh, yeah, what quality does she have?
Back in my day. Would that be allowable?
Usually you have to declare that before the roll.
I know.
And this really isn't important enough to, for me to want you to burn a point on it.
No, it just aggravates the mess of me. I hate this dice roller. And it hates me too.
But with that background, I'll go ahead and give it to you for free because, like I said, it wasn't something super important. But the language makes you think of, was it just called Babylonian or did it have its own name? Probably something I should have looked up.
I could make up an answer, but there's at least a 50-50 chance it would be wrong.
Hey. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
What was that?
The language was called Akkadian.
Okay.
What was it called?
Akkadian.
Huh?
I knew there was
All
an
right.
Akkadian people back then.
Would she really know that, though? Because she's not that old. We're talking like 30th century BC. Maybe something she picked up on her travels?
Being that
Well, she's
far
been
back,
around long
she
enough.
might have run into some people that could speak it though. Just that it sounded, because it's not that she's picking out, understanding sentences. There's a few words here and there that she's pretty sure, match up with Akkadian.
Yeah, it's a Semitic language, so she's probably heard things that sound like it.
Basically, the language is matching, kind of matching up with the architecture.
Fascinating. Does she know of anyone else kind of as old as she is? I mean, I know one of the new guys is pretty old, but I don't think she knows that.
Oh, no. Well, let's see. She might know that the Monkey King is something out of Chinese mythology, though whether or not she believed that this guy calling himself the Monkey King is the actual Monkey King.
Yeah, to be fair, most anyone under the age of 30 at this current age would know who the Monkey King is, just because he makes appearances in so much other stuff.
Yeah.
Anime fans would recognize him.
League of Legends is played by a couple million people. Wukong is literally just a character in the game.
That's sad. That's pretty cool, honestly. Like, it's just
Sure.
that deep level of cultural
Notice
history.
that they only know him as a character in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they would know Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. They'd know him, like, they'd know the name. They'd go, oh, okay, you're that guy.
And
Or
plenty of them would probably know a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
maybe they saw the movie.
That's possible too.
Yep.
I guess I'll pass that along because, I mean, unless us speaking to each other would, give us away or whatever.
It shouldn't.
As long as you're not talking right as you walk right past somebody.
Because I imagine our little stroll holding hands is going to be very awkward. So I think she would fill that with conversation.
We could sing Kumbaya.
And they all attack immediately.
For an unknown reason, Slapshot says, "Hey, can we not sing Kumbaya?" Someone in this group is very. For some reason, my hockey stick is very adamant we don't sing Kumbaya.
As long as we don't start singing Ring Around the Rosies, never get that smell out.
That's highly specific.
That
Is this what it
doesn't
feels
dog.
like to be the young one in the group? Okay, let's just keep walking, children. Let's keep walking.
And we're walking. And we're walking.
We're walking quietly.
All right. So yeah, past through town's not the outskirts of town isn't too bad. The population's not real dense. The little squares where they got the little market set up. You avoid going through the middle of that because there is plenty of people running around. But as long as you circle around that, you don't run into much of anybody. Everybody, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize in advance.
I don't know if I've ever actually made a stealth roll game.
And would that be balance or coordination?
What attribute?
Stealth or
It would
Coordination.
be coordination plus the stealth specialty if you've got it.
I have the stealth specialty. I just haven't put anything in my roll builder yet. Just,
Oh.
I guess, add it. I didn't roll a 1.
You rolled better than me.
Not.
So she rolled a 9 and I rolled a 7.
yeah, well, that was wrong.
No, we can keep that. That's good. That's a good number.
I am very stealthy. Let me try it this way. You would think by now I would have be more comfortable around roll 20.
Hey, we only keep one.
Alright, so Slapshot got an 11, Monkey King got a 7, Wolf Witch got a 7, Architect got an 8. Alright, and you were rolling against a... Ooh, only a 3. Oh, well, there should have been a plus on that, so it should have been a 4. Alright, so you managed to avoid... you're invisible, so you don't have to worry about being seen. But you managed to avoid bumping into anybody, kicking anything.
Go lay down.
Umadan, you almost get run into by a child, but you manage to kind of step back. It makes you let go of the person in front of you for just a second. But, the line stops and you're able to reconnect without any issue. Yeah, it's tense only in that you're in the middle of an enemy city. And while these people don't look too dangerous, there does seem to be a lot of them. I mean, compared to y'all at least. Alright. Who is at the front of the line? You're holding hands, you're in a line. Who's in the front of the line?
Who has the highest awareness?
God, I hope it's not me.
You guys wouldn't know that. You've only just met.
Who thinks they have the highest awareness?
That's a better question.
Okay, everybody. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your awareness? No.
Honestly, I'd probably
No numbers.
just be the most cockiest person there, I guess.
If you mortals need me to lead you, I will volunteer.
There's a reason we stay immortal.
All right.
Really? Because I'm getting told that we're all mortal here. I'm getting told all y'all can die. Sorry, let me rephrase
True
that.
immortality.
Let me rephrase that.
And functional immortality.
Let me rephrase
I
that.
think, the architect just volunteered to be in front.
All right, architect.
Thanks.
You
Yes.
are in front. You are essentially the one navigating everybody through the city.
The one with the cursed dice roller. This is going to end great.
So, what I need you to do?
Yes.
Let's see. You don't have any specialties that would help you with navigation. Let's see. So yeah, an awareness roll. Just to keep up with your surround. From the hilltop, you looked at kind of more or less the route you would need to take. Picked out a few noticeable landmarks that you should be able to find, once you were down there at street level. So give me an awareness roll to see if you manage to keep up with your landmarks and, steer the party where you want to go. Oh, that was very good.
I can't believe it either.
Nice.
I feel like the dice roller has betrayed me.
Well, I mean, is it even possible for you to outroll me with 7 modifier and yours is 2?
Let's see, 7, 1, 8. I could tie you.
Hmm.
So yeah, outrolling, no.
Yes. I am a good leader.
Alright. As you get deeper into the city, you start running into troop barracks. You start running into some, much fancier houses, much larger houses. Houses that have guards stationed outside. There gets to be more plant life. The area doesn't look any more hospitable for it. But you see servants running around watering things. When these places have gardens, there's, groups of people tending them. The gardens in this area look much lusher. The majority of them are still, food. I mean, though you run into a few of the especially large houses that have hedges or flowering plants. It's easy to pick out the moneyed area as you pass through it. As you get closer to the tree, you begin finding more and more troops, or maybe it's the city guard. It's a little up in the air.
What happens if I pick a fruit off one of the plants? Would it be invisible or would it? I'm going to try.
All right. Give me a stealth roll.
Hey.
What was that?
Okay, that's much less bad than I was afraid it would be.
Sleeping.
Yeah, you did fine. And we may be getting another member in.
Hey.
Though he has not joined us in the chat.
Hello.
Howdy,
Hey,
howdy,
Mike.
man.
Hola.
Thanks for waiting.
All right. Just a second while I get the overlay. Okay, Mike, I'm getting where you answered the Zoom call, but I'm not getting your actual picture. I just have your name.
Oh, I don't have my camera plugged in. I need to keep my phone plugged in because it's low on power. So that's
Okay.
my camera. But I am here.
All right then. Just to catch you up, Monkey King, and Umadon showed up a little late to the Crucible's house. The rest of the party had already passed through. They're rushed through, not giving quite as much information. Meet up with the party on the hillside outside of the city. As you discussed how to get into the heart of the city to this world tree and the temple or whatever it is at the base of the tree. Wolf Witch comes up with a plan. She casts a spell that allows her to turn people and objects invisible. So you have been walking, you've all been invisible, holding hands, walking in single file through this city. You pass through the poorer outskirts. All the people are horribly mutated and twisted. Quasimodo from the Hunchback would be a relatively attractive guy in comparison. I mean, he would fit in fairly well and kind of be on the more normal human-looking scale of things.
Mm-hmm.
They've just started passing through kind of the ritzier areas. There's this whole kind of blasted wasteland. I'm gonna flip back over here just to let you see the map or the picture I showed. That being kind of the environment of the world you're in.
Mm-hmm. And there's the giant world tree in the center of all that mess.
Yes, and that is where y'all are headed.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's Monkey King, Wolf Witch, Slapshot Architect, Everlast, and who's the last character? Hero?
Imadan.
Which one was that?
Imadan. He's the fire angel, the pure fire.
Oh, okay. How do you spell that again? I don't.
Hold on, let me. I usually have to read it to make sure. EUM EMUD EMUNDAN.
Thank you, Fire Angel.
Though
Awesome.
when you saw him come out of the portal, he looked pretty normal.
Yeah,
Just with a flaming mace.
Cool.
And then just as you arrived, Umerdan was deciding to see, as you were passing through the richier parts of town, they had a lot more gardens. The poor folks had gardens too, but they looked like they were struggling. Richier part of town, you had a lot of servants watering them and so forth. The plants looked much healthier. And he decided to pluck some fruit off a tree just to see what would happen.
Imodan's obsessed with earthly three-dimensional pleasures, so he's a glutton and wanted to try the fruit. Of course, he had to try the fruit.
So you
Sure.
pluck off this fruit, and you don't necessarily recognize what it is. Apple, perish. It's something in that kind of family. You manage to pluck one without any of the servants in the area noticing. As you pull it off, there's a slight rustle as it snaps off that branch, and somebody glances in the direction. But as soon as you disconnect the fruit from the tree and it's just in your hand, it turns invisible along with you.
Okay. Everyone will hear me tasting the fruit. Probably like, what the hell, dude?
It's a little sour.
Ugh.
Not as sweet as you thought it would be. I mean, just looking at it, you think it was right. You're pretty sure it was right, but
No wonder these poor people are so misshapen.
Slapshot will look back. If you finish that, you won't be able to leave here, right?
It's not any good anyway.
Yeah, but you've already eaten 3 months worth of having to be here. Just be careful about that.
all right. As you approach the temple area, the troops get denser and denser. Or, like I said, they may not be army so much as their town guard. It's up in the air. In the poorer part of town, you almost saw none of these guys. Let's see. There are actually barricades blocking the streets that run straight up to the temple. On the smaller streets, it's just, kind of slapped together barricades. And the larger ones, they've actually constructed gates. And, plenty of people are being let through. You have carts of goods being let through. But everybody gets stopped and papers get checked and that sort of thing. And like I said, they're still jabbering away in this, in their language that you don't understand.
Well, we should probably just try and carefully slip by.
We ought to be able to.
Okay. Are you still going to try to do this while holding hands?
Yes. Or... Actually, might be better to just try and get through one at a time.
But they'll notice us
We're invisible.
once we leave.
We don't have to be touching to be invisible.
Then why are we holding hands?
So
So we
know
don't
where
lose
we're
each
going.
other.
Yeah, that
We're
was
holding
good as
hands.
hell didn't lose track of each other.
We're holding hands because we're invisible.
Yeah.
champ.
It sunk in after I said it.
We're holding hands so that we can sing that stupid Kumbaya song.
No kumbaya.
Yeah, it will probably be easier to get in if we. But we should probably agree to where we're going to meet.
Yeah, we need to pick a landmark we can see so that we can
Closest
converge on.
Hey, look.
Just a little ways inside past this gate, there is a well.
Meet up with the well?
Sure.
Alright, everybody give me stealth checks.
Oh boy.
I'll do it. That's a new one.
That will be your coordination plus the stealth specialty if you have it. Difficulty won't be too bad. Alright, the architect is sneaky. Everlast is sneaky.
How much bonus do we get for being invisible?
They can't see you. This is more of a, do you make any noise? Do you bump into somebody? Do you brush up against them? That sort of thing.
I almost decided to sprout my wings and just fly over the gate, but I was afraid people might hear that.
Whooshing them out here.
Can I use my phasing to make sure people don't bump into me?
Yes, if you can
Well-
phase, you don't have to worry about it.
Sweet.
But Wolf Witch.
Yes, sir.
As you're walking through, you know, there's a guard stepping away from a wagon as it starts forward. You're trying to walk, you know, basically walk beside the wagon by the guard. And you don't know if he heard something. You don't know what it was. But where he is armed with a spear, you know, and just had it, you know, kind of over his shoulder. He suddenly spins around and kind of bats you in the back of the head with the flat of his spear.
Okay.
You cry
To
out, you
distract-
stumble forward, and then he's kind of like, you know, he
To
heard a noise
distract
and
the
felt something.
guard,
Yes.
to distract the guard, I haven't discarded my nasty sour fruit yet. So can I throw the fruit at him and see if I can hit the guard in the head?
Yeah, give me a coordination.
It's a sound plan. Sound plan.
What am I rolling?
Coordination. It's basically a ranged attack. Let's see. What would a
Where
common
is my book?
guard's awareness be?
Okay, Zach, help me out.
+2.
I could have swore I had it saved on me then.
All right. And of course, you're not trying to do any actual damage to him.
No.
This is really to put kind of the distracted or, you know, quality or especially, not especially, I keep forgetting if it's called qualities or, yeah, qualities. In Fate, it's called aspects, but it's the exact same thing. I keep getting the terminologies mixed up. So he starts looking around. You beat him in the head with another fruit. When he turns around that time, he sees the fruit laying there. And you hear him yelling. You can't make out the words, but other people are kind of looking at him and, you know, kind of holding their hands like, hey, I ain't got nothing. So you're pretty sure he's demanding to know who's throwing stuff at him. So Wolfwitch, you're able to slip on through at that point.
Alright, Jason, you'll recognize I rolled the d6. That was for the burnout on my phasing. My phasing is still okay.
Okay.
Burnout is on a 1 or a 2. I don't get to use it for a while.
Okay. Alright, so you're now in the court, kind of the, what would now be kind of a large courtyard for this temple complex. The gate and the barricades and all that seems to be relatively new. You know, clearly not part of the original city design, so.
Thank you.
So this is the entrance to the temple. With the exception that you do not have those statues there. It looks like there might have been statues at one time, but you know, they've been cracked and defaced, and you can't really make out what they were supposed to be now.
The statues were deemed too sexy for the public. Had to be taken down.
I'm too sexy for this gate.
Let's see. Where's me a good deformed looking guy? We'll use a random lizard guy. He doesn't really look like a lizard guy, but we'll use him.
Oh, what a handsome lizard boy!
Yeah, I thought you'd like it somehow.
I don't know, he looks like a decent lad to me. I mean, you know, if you get kidnapped, he probably can't save you, but still a good boy.
Ouch!
Then, you know, apparently you just get replaced by some dude who wields a giant sword instead of a halberd. Everything's okay.
Who are we looking for again?
Why are we even on this planet anymore? I mean,
I'm sorry. Continue on, Jason.
No, I'm just using the distraction to look through minis. And we'll just use Ox again. Alright. So the front gate is shut. There's guards on either side. Or actually, I take that back. They'd be standing in front of the gate itself. These are some big boys. They're big burly sorts. One of them is holding a spear, kind of like that other guard. One of them has an extremely shriveled arm, and then one is like, you know, extra beefy. And he's holding a large club in his good arm.
Which one's his strong hand?
The big hand.
Thank you.
And is it the spear guard who has the shriveled hand, or is it the club guard who has the shriveled hand?
It's the club guard. The one
Okay.
with scaly skin, which is why I'm using the lizard for him. Yeah, he's got a spear. It's the other guy that's got it's a large club with like metal, you know, 2 or 3 metal bands kind of around the top with studs on it. He doesn't seem super alert. I mean, he's not like asleep at his post or nothing. But just looking at him, he's one of them people you're not sure his elevator goes all the way to the top. As he stands there, he actually drools just a little bit every now and then. And you'll see his buddy turn and say something, and he'll go, you know, with the little shriveled arm. You know, it's not Tyrannosaurus small. He can't reach his mouth with it.
I'll nudge whoever's closest to me and whisper to them, "Look, T-Rex."
The other guy, however, his head is his eyes are in constant motion. He is alert and watching. How do you want to try to get inside this temple?
And we're still invisible, right?
Yes.
but they're blocking the entrance, like
But
big beefy boys.
Let's see.
how much would you say these statues weigh?
The statues aren't there.
Oh, they're not?
Yeah, they're crumbled.
Yeah.
You have the large stone bases of the statue, so you'd still have like a block of stone you could potentially pick up.
I didn't want to pick it up.
Oh, right. Let's see. Yeah, the invisibility will still be going. I think it drops if you try to, like if you attack somebody, I believe it would drop.
Yeah, I don't really want to attack them, though. I just want to cause a distraction.
You could play the floor as lava, except it's now literally lava.
Well, I was thinking more of sand, but then how are we going to get in the door?
Make it not lava.
Fine.
I
Can
mean,
you
I
guess
can
how
also
much-
just walk through.
Hmm?
I can just phase through the wall.
Make
But
a
that's
noise
just one of
inside?
us. Well, I mean, but then that would just be the one of us.
I could always fly up to a window, but again, that's just me.
Yeah, I have leaping. I could leap.
I could potentially carry one of us and just walk
I
up
ought to
to a
be able
window.
to carry somebody.
I've got super speed. I don't know if I have enough super speed to like stunt being able to run up surfaces, but if I can't do that, I can always stunt being able to leap.
Are there windows? let's do this.
Yeah, I just assumed that there were windows.
Let's do this one step at a time. Are there windows?
At the ground level, you have essentially arrow slits. But yes, as you get higher up, there are actual windows. They are open. This place doesn't have AC, so you use high ceilings and windows up high to let air through.
Is there any amount of regular traffic through here, or are the gates pretty much stay shut for long periods of time?
These gates seem to be staying shut. The supplies and stuff that you see coming in are always ushered over to these side buildings that aren't actually connected to the temple.
Ah.
It's like some of these side buildings are obviously barracks or dormitories or something like that. You have kind of a separate cafeteria, if you will, set up. No, that you can smell cooking food, coming from. And you have, some of the servants and guards and people in slightly fancier robes that you assume are priests or something. They have a scholarly air to them. They're coming and going kind of from the cafeteria and some of the dormitory areas. But no one seems to be around this front door other than these
Just
two
those
guards.
two.
So yes, there are windows. You'd have to fold your wing. If you popped your wings, you'd have to fold them to get through. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Now, what would qualify an attack, invisibility canceling attack? If we like tipped over some big block, would that count, or would it be okay as long as we weren't directly attacking the guards?
I'm gonna say as long as you weren't directly attacking the guards, or like smashing through a wall or something.
Okay.
Basically, any action that can be casually committed, like casually throwing a fruit at someone, is
Yeah,
not.
something like that.
Or leaning up against the block with super strength and accidentally tipping it over, but not onto someone, but just tipping it over to cause a distraction. But you said those statues weren't there. I need to look at the map to see if anything could potentially be knocked over anyway.
What you
And I'm
got
not sure
are the
that the-
bases. You can tell there were supposed to be statues there, but they've crumbled or been shattered or something. But you have
Yeah.
these kind of 3 foot tall square blocks that the statue was on top of.
Yeah, maybe it was like a Taliban situation where the occupying forces just knocked over whatever statues were, built by the original designers. Assuming that's the case, and the occupiers aren't the original designers.
Can I change one of the statue's head into like diamond or gold? Something noticeable that'll distract them and get them away from the door.
Yeah, you could certainly transmute some of the stone. Either the big block or some of the smaller.
But it doesn't sound like there's much of the statues except maybe a foot or something left.
There's
there's
plenty
still
of
lots of
rubble from them
stone.
around, though. I mean, she could pick a big chunk of rock and turn it to gold.
Yeah.
But how do we even know they value gold here?
Well, I mean, at the very least, it'd be pretty
Give me an
distracting.
awareness roll.
Oh no. Oh, my awareness is pretty good.
You did notice in the fancier parts of town, you did notice people wearing jewelry. Gold being seeming to be one of the favorite metals they use for jewelry. You didn't see any gold coins, but the only markets you saw were in the poorer part of town. So most of the coinage there seemed to be copper or tin based. But like I said, you did see a lot of gold jewelry on the richer folks, so
Would draw a lot of attention to the area, though.
Mm,
it might.
it's a risk. But ideally, we
I
won't
mean,
be
I
passing
could've-
back through.
True. But it's gonna cause a crowd. Maybe. I kind of like my initial plan or idea of turning the steps into sand and then making them steps again.
Basically
After
trying
they-
to snare the guards.
I want them to sink all the way in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's vicious.
I mean, that would, that would set an alarm, but we get past them.
This seems to be a team that was assembled based on effectiveness, not ethicality.
Well,
Or
I
at
mean,
least the two of
she's
us.
been around a long time.
All right,
No.
I need to assemble a squad of sick mofos that I can send to this other dimension. And if they don't come back, nobody will really mind. I'm not saying
Are they
suicide
really
mission.
contributing to society? I mean, really?
A team that's inglorious, perhaps.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
perhaps,
I could
their, and
always,
perhaps their parents
like-
were not married.
I could always transmute one of these walls, but honestly, she would have no idea what's on the other side of that wall.
And if you do that to a load-bearing wall, all sorts of fun can happen.
Yeah. It would definitely cause a distraction for the guards, though.
All right. So you going to transmute?
I haven't decided what yet, though. What do y'all think? Go the sand route or try to go through a wall?
I think the sand route is probably the best option.
Okay,
Yep.
so
The biggest drawback I see to the sand route is they're still going to be right there by the door that we're wanting to get in.
well,
No.
ideally they're going to sink into it like all the way.
Oh, I was thinking just their feet. That's kind of harsh. Okay, yeah.
How much would you say a tank weighs? Because there's like, I kind of guess like a medium tank. It's roughly 20 tons.
Let's
Oh.
see. On the benchmark table, tank or bus is listed as a level 7.
Yes. And those are very different weights, by the way. That's not a very good table.
No, it's
Well, keep
Yeah,
in mind,
it's
everything's
not
on a
that-
scale of 10, so
it's that.
there's a
not just
lot
it.
of leeway.
Well, I'm just saying either choose a tank or a bus, because a bus does not weigh near what a tank does.
Comic book physics. Comic book physics.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
a jet
thought-
and a train don't weigh the same either, but yeah.
yeah. I wonder if the table might have some kind of like built-in exponential increasing factor, like the old DC game did.
That
All
would
right.
be-
Well, just looking up a Sherman tank real quick. A Sherman tank weighs 33 tons.
Now, how much does a city bus weigh? While you're looking things up.
Double decker or single?
Let's go single.
A typical single decker bus weighs between 11 and 14 tons.
Yep, there's the difference.
So yeah, there's quite a bit of leeway there, yeah. But keep in mind, this is also the table that, for speed they have fast helicopter.
Yeah.
Regular helicopters nowhere on it, so I don't know if regular helicopter would be a 4 instead of a 5.
Well, like a regular helicopter can be outsped by a car, which is funny to see.
True, in a straightaway, I guess it could. Where a
'Cause,
fast one
yeah.
is probably like the Medivacs or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause there is someone that has now with one of those Hellcat engines escaped a chopper because the chopper couldn't go above 120, and that Hellcat was hitting 150 on a highway, just gone. But
So
a fast
certainly-
helicopter could have kept up.
So certainly, I think you can transmute enough of the steps to bury these individuals.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get kind of close so I can make sure my sand pit's deep enough and transmute like the immediate area around them as deep as I can go into like the softest, siltiest sand I can think of.
Quicksand.
All right, so that would be transmutation. I think was the name of the power.
Mm-hmm.
Telekinesis, telepathy, teleportation, transmutation.
And I would also like to tap the quality living philosopher's stone.
Okay. All right. Transmutation can transfer. Alrighty. Now your transmutation. Oh no, it would. Never mind. It was Wolfwitch that did the invisibility thing.
Yes.
All right.
And since no one can see me, I'm not going to clap my hands.
But that's your thing.
Okay, fine. I'll clap them very quietly.
You still see the kind of scaly guy's head whip around. For all the good it does him. As a section of the stairs right around them. I assume you're going more for depth than coverage.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely get enough.
I don't want them to be able to reach out and grab anything either, though.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I hope we don't have to step on him to get him to sink.
no,
we're gonna have to walk over them.
All that stair turns to sand, and then the sand falls, and they fall, and now you got a big, 10 or 15 foot hole. As you glance over, you realize there was like a base. There was a lower floor up under this thing.
Crap.
They're now down there. Trying to get up. They're coughing. It's like the wind got knocked out of them, and now they've got all this dirt and sand falling over them where they're trying to gasp for breath, and it's not a pretty scene. They're not. It's not going to kill them. The sand's hitting them and spreading. But
Yeah. Well, I guess we
Unless
can
you turn
slide
it
on
back
by.
to the stone.
The floor just mysteriously collapsed. Yes.
this big stone floor just suddenly crumbled, into almost microscopic components. Nothing strange here.
It's a really old temple.
Yeah, it's that, stone rot.
Hey, I don't think I can transmute anything back over it, can I? And it wouldn't really be a point because, they're down there. They can get back out.
Yeah, I don't know if you can transmute air or not.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. Well, it is an inorganic material.
Might be a bit OP if you can do that.
Well, I mean, you could transmute air just fine. You just have to do it about 16 million times.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with solids is they're all touching each other. You can chain it. Air sometimes isn't colliding with other air
Hmm.
in the aspect of, like, I'm transmuting the oxygen into, well, there's a whole lot of other gases in that.
True. True.
All right. So I've thrown a little square to show you where the hole is.
So that didn't go as planned. Oops.
We ought to be able to get around the hole and to the front door, though. I would bet.
A little bit of room. Squeeze on through here.
Can you do something with some of the rubble, and we can maybe lay it over the hole?
Mm, I mean, there's a little gap right there.
This made some noise, and of course they screamed as they fell down. So you have people starting to run over here.
We better get through those doors quick.
Mm. So, like, if I was standing right here, could I just, like, squeeze through this little area?
Well, if the doors weren't there, sure.
Oh, doors are there?
Yeah, there's doors there.
Push them open.
They seem to be locked.
And I want to transmute them bad boys to air.
Alrighty.
We have now disregarded all possibilities of stealth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of went downhill when those guys down there didn't die.
Stealth went out the window when my murder plan didn't work.
If they just died, nobody would know.
Exactly! All they had to do was sink into a sand pit and not breathe.
Now, I have to admit, the idea of them sinking into sand is cartoonish at best.
I didn't hear anything else.
I recommended turning the floor into lava. Yes, there would have been some screaming, but they wouldn't have been a problem anymore.
Except they wouldn't sink into the lava either. They'd still be standing on it.
Screaming.
Because it's
Yeah.
still, because
Fire.
you know, lava may flow like a liquid, but it's still denser than you are, so you'd sit on top. And you know,
If you think that was cartoonish, wait till I play my Brujo character.
oh no. So anyway, you reach out, you touch the gate, it's gone. You actually only have to make a roll with transmutation to do the touching on something if it's trying to get out of the way, or you know, there's some real difficulty to it.
Okay. What do I need to roll to hop over that little corner? Or
Coordination.
okay. Godspeed, help us all. I can't see what I rolled.
You rolled a 9.
Thank God.
All right, everybody else, give me a roll to hop over.
Coordination?
Coordination.
Oh, nice.
Wolfwitch, you got no problem. You're trying to beat a 3, so yeah, most of you should be unable to fail this.
Yeah.
Place has
Wait,
a
I'm
bad.
sorry. I'm sorry. What are we rolling?
Coordination.
Does that also mix in with athletics?
I think it would.
Acrobatics.
Ah,
Or is acrobatics a thing? Let me. So many different game systems sandwich different stuff in there. Let's see. Where are the specialties?
I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to transmute something. It's Bill.
She's just been waiting to use that power for so long.
I just like clapping my hands. But every time I do it, something changes to something else. So I gotta have a reason to clap my hand.
Yes, acrobatics falls under athletics. It's not two separate somethings in this system. Okay.
Nice.
I have 3 ranks in athletics.
All right.
Why does this keep scrolling down?
I don't know.
I know.
Reload the page.
All right, so you all get into the entrance of the temple without any trouble. There are 4 more guards right on the inside.
Who just watched the door disappear?
Yep, they heard screaming on the other side and started to form up, and then they saw the door disappear. They aren't super sure what's going on now. Let's see.
I suggest we see if we can avoid them. Our last vestige of stealth.
You have no vestige of stealth now.
We're hosed. Well, not really, but
Or hosed, you say, as the character I've built most specifically for killing things is in this party.
yeah, well, yeah, we're really not hosed, but we're not going to be quiet from this point, I don't think.
You're hosed on the stealth aspect of things.
Yes.
The one that you assume is in charge calls out. Again, you don't recognize the language. Though the architect thinks she picks out the word for who, so they may be asking who goes there, or who's there, or what's there, or something like that. They're all looking a little freaked out because, they don't see nothing. But all that disappeared, and they start hearing these little thump, thump, thump that y'all hop over. Come to think of it, let me make an awareness test for them to see if they see the little dust poofs where you land. Fortunately, they've got an awareness of like 2.
At least it's not 1.
Everybody give me a stealth roll versus an 8.
That's not good. Oh no! Can't find my. I think it closed it. Damn it! Hold on. No technical difficulty.
Come on.
Did I not do a miniature for Everlast? Yeah, I guess I did.
Ah, yes.
Oh, crap.
Everybody that's got a miniature, go ahead and throw the miniatures down. I've already thrown Everlast and Imudan down.
I think I see Imadan.
It appears that I cannot throw a miniature down for Wolf Witch.
Yeah, I can't either. It's weird. Doing it right?
I did not have a pre-prepared miniature. Can someone get me a picture of a hockey stick real quick?
Hang on just a second. I've got one made for you that I apparently forgotten to upload.
Could have, maybe found a picture of Jason's mask from Friday the 13th.
No, Slapshot's not scary. He's a good lad.
Yeah, maybe a picture of Wayne Gretzky or something.
Let's see.
All right, there's a slapstick. Slapshot, whatever. It ain't perfect, but it's a hockey player. And then we were having trouble with the Architect and Wolf Witch for some reason. There's the Architect. And Wolf Witch.
Good gosh, dog.
They know not how. They only know bark.
All right. All right. So,
Did you get yours?
all right. So y'all only need to beat an 8. So Wolf Witch,
Oh, he got his back.
you made some noise.
I did not beat an 8.
I didn't either.
Nope.
All right. So as soon as you land, one of them starts rattling off orders, and everybody that failed, they charge and take a swing at you. Let's see. So that's one on Wolf Witch, one on the Architect, and one on Imadan. Which leaves one left over that will also run to the Architect because she was kind of in front. Oops. For some reason over here in the video, the order on the video's changed. There we go. Alright. So as you land and start catching your footing, they're going to charge forward. We will start on the left and go to the right. So Imadon takes the first attack. So this is not coordination, prowess. They have a prowess of 3. I'm not particularly skilled with them, so just a 3. Alright, Curtis, give me a prowess roll as this guy runs up and swings at you. Alright, he connects with nothing but air. And immediately starts looking around like he thinks maybe you moved or something.
I would hate to have to smite him.
And then the 2 on the Architect. First one got a 7.
What am I rolling?
This would be prowess.
Okay. I don't guess I can use my stealth specialty.
Normally you couldn't, but since you're invisible, go ahead and give that a roll.
Yeah.
He
So
connects
that'd
with
be
nothing but
fine.
air. But you've got 2 guys swinging at you, so the other one, you need to beat a 5.
Holy crap.
And then the one on Wolf Witch. Wolf Witch needs to beat an 8. Alright. Meter beat. You feel the wind off of it. It may even clip kind of the top of your hood as you duck under it. They're all looking panicked. You know, they ran up. They saw the little hits of dust. You know, dust like somebody had just landed or stepped there. They run up, but they're not swinging on nothing. And they start kind of jabbering at each other. You know, they're speaking to each other quickly. One of them, his weapon is actually shaking. Architect, you're pretty sure you hear one of them say something about. You think you hear a word? You hear a word very similar to the Akkadian word for like spirit or soul or something.
Oh, they think we're ghosties.
So you can return. You can make return attacks now, or if you want to just try to walk around them, you can do that.
Honestly, I'm in favor of just trying to walk around them.
Yeah, me too.
I've got super speed, so I'm all about that. We can outrace them.
Alright, so y'all just try to walk past these guys.
Yeah.
Give me a bunch of stealth rolls.
Bunch of stealth rolls.
Oh, it's still invisible, kind of.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
This could be rough. Oh, God!
Oh, wait a minute. They rolled worse than we did.
Yes, they did.
They're too pooped. Spooked. They're too spooked to track us properly.
Alright, everybody? I think so.
Oh.
so
Slapshot
yeah.
is very impressed by how new he is to stealth and how well it is working.
So yeah, you circle around these guys. As you glance over your shoulder as you leave the entryway here, or the foyer, or whatever you want to call it, you see them. You know, they're it's like they're just walking around the room, kind of swinging their spears back and forth, like they're just several more people, guards, and even some of the kind of scholarly-looking guys have kind of run up to the steps here. Some of the guards run right up to the hole and are looking down, even calling down. The more scholarly-looking guys, even a curious servant or two, they all stay down here on the ground. You know, if part of the stairs have collapsed, they're not running up there. And there's a lot of excited talking, and you hear that word for soul thrown around some more. And you make your way deeper into the temple. As you begin passing rooms, let's see. Everybody that's got the occult skill, give me an occult roll, which would be intelligence plus your occult. My dice rolls will not make things challenging for you at all.
I won't lie, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm sorry, Jason.
Alright. Is that everybody that had a cult?
I think so.
I don't think
think so.
No.
Just stealthy.
Okay, that's right. Well, that's right, because her powers come from having been experimented on, basically.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually being kind of a full-fledged alchemist.
The difference between knowing how to work a microwave and knowing why a microwave works. Yes.
Anyway, so as you pass through, looking here and there, all of you with the occult skill realize that you're seeing some of the rooms you're looking into are labs, basically. Even some of you without the occult skill, if you look at an alchemist lab, it looks a lot like a chemistry lab. You know, but with more archaic equipment. As you progress, you start to think less that this place is a temple and maybe that it was some kind of university. Or, if not a university, maybe at least a mage's college, or some kind of mage's chapter house, or, something. It kind of had the look of a temple from the outside, but that may have just been kind of the architecture. As you get inside, it looks like it's a variety of scholarly pursuits going on in here, but all of it seems to be kind of a mystical bend. Let's see here.
Sort of scholar man. I could get lost for days in one of these, but we don't have that time.
Yeah, I wonder if this place is some kind of, I guess it's some kind of a place of learning. Like, ooh, what's this?
All right.
With guards.
It's a curling arena.
All right. So give me awareness rolls. Oh, wait, I did not change the plus. Disregard that number.
No, we're fine with that number.
That's better.
I'll happily keep my crappy roll for everyone else. Oh, I see.
All right. So that is what? Wolf Witch and the Architect beat the roll. The rest of you would have gotten lost walking through all these corridors. Luckily, your two magical ladies managed to get you through without too much trouble. There's a few times when you have to step to the side to avoid guards running here or there. The place is slowly developing the feel of an ant bed that has just been kicked. Headed the way you're headed, you see several of the robed fellows. Some of them in very ornate robes moving forward. Now, all of these people are still misshapen like everybody else. Though some of the guys in robes are maybe not quite as bad as like some of the common folk you saw. In fact, now that you think about it, in the ritzier parts of town, people were still badly mutated, twisted, but not quite as bad. I mean, it's very incremental difference, but...
So the implication being that the mutations are caused by environmental factors that can be managed depending on your social status.
Yeah, that's one assumption you can make.
Look, at the point that this place is mostly a barren wasteland, and then the rich people have private gardens, I don't give a shit about anybody here.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, the poor people had their own gardens too. They just weren't not as well taken care of. All right. Finally, you step out of the back of the building into what was probably not a courtyard originally, but this part of the building is sort of wedged between two of these massive roots at the base of this tree. You have these tall standing stones forming the design you see here. All the vines you see there are tendrils of root that have come up. You know, much like the root. Well, actually, this group of characters has not seen the roots that open the portals. And standing in the center are several robed figures. All of them twisted and warped, save for one.
Is it obvious what they're doing, or are they just sort of hanging out?
They are clearly working on something.
Like a ritual?
Let's see, we'll use this guy because he's good and twisted, but he looks almost hooded. Oops. Alright, so that one. I really gotta start populating these maps before we start. Well, he's not hooded, but he looks kind of mystical. That guy looks kind of mystic. Oh, there's a good hooded guy. All right.
You're trading, kid.
In fact, we're going to use the fancier guy up here. All right. So the two in the fanciest robes, which are these two in the middle here, they seem to be giving orders. The two in the front here, you know, they're clearly casting some kind of spell, and they have put some sort of energy barrier up between the gap here and the standing stones. There's also a slight shimmer making an almost dome shape over the top of the standing stones. Here in the very, very center, there's a large crystal shard that the roots run up and are tangled around. I say crystal, it looks more like amber. The man in the back, as I said, is the one that I said was not twisted at all. He's wearing some sort of chainmail or scale mail. He's holding a spear of a much better design than anything you've seen the guards wearing. You know, very wide belt. And he looks like a normal human. He's got a full beard, gray. You can see gray hair up under the hood. And he addresses you. You may as well drop the invisibility. Everyone here can see you. And you can feel free to put your miniatures on
Sure,
there.
you can see us.
We were tired of holding hands anyway.
It was getting a little bit awkward. The hands were getting sweaty.
I can imagine that made maneuvering quite difficult.
It was interesting.
So they're separated from us by that energy
Hmm.
field in the doorway, right?
Correct. I can only, he continues speaking, I can only imagine that you are here due to the current unpleasantness back home.
So you are human, or something approximating us.
No, I assure you, sir, I am human. Though, to be fair, these creatures here are at the very least descendants of humans.
Are they in a pit?
No, it's more the rings build up. So each ring's a step up. No, it's not freakish line.
No, I mean like this. From this to this, is it lower from up here?
No, all the ground here is at the same height.
Okay.
And then, like I said, each of these rings is, it's a little step up, but nothing drastic.
Descended from humans, so
Well,
our kind immigrated here.
look at them, sir. I don't know that you could really call them human anymore. But no, this is another Earth where the history is just quite different. Sorcerer kings of the ancient past waged a worldwide war, and this wonderful environment is the result. They were attempting to find a more hospitable home for themselves. I had been trapped outside of my own home, trying to find a way home, and we decided to work together. I did not intend to have them invade my home. That was unfortunate.
Oh, you're the delight. You're the one the Crucible was talking about, aren't you?
What did that thief have to say about me?
Oh, not much. That you're just partly the source of the problem. Anyway, knock it off.
I would love to, but unfortunately, I am still somewhat trapped here. As he's been talking, this guy here has been quickly cast a spell. It doesn't visually do anything, but after he casts it, he looks at you when you speak, and he looks at the other guy as he speaks. The old man continues. So if the Crucible sent you, I assume that you have been to my old home in Savannah.
Oh, that old dump? Yes. I've been to it.
How is the old place?
And she just sort of does a little wavy hand thing. It's okay.
It could use a remodel.
I'm sorry, I have been ever so rude. Introduction should be made. You may call me the Reliquary.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. And who would you be?
Oh, myself? Well, I've taken up the moniker Wolf Witch as of late.
Actually, Wolf Witch and the Architect, give me an intelligence roll when he gives you his name. Or, let's see, to remember something, would it be intelligence or awareness?
Would a cult modify it any?
Yes, he is part of the occult community, so yeah. Go ahead and do intelligence. Can I roll something other than a 4?
No.
I'm sorry, Jason. I know I'm laughing, but I do feel bad.
Well, I just want something to be a little challenging for you. All right, let's throw everybody else.
I'm just glad it's not just me.
Well, some days the dice roller really likes me, and then some days it does not really like me.
It loves Anna tonight. Like, how?
No, it'll be back to normal next time.
You have been on fire the
Probably
last
by
couple
Tuesday.
days.
All right, is that everybody?
In that case, I have a lot of. We'll have to get a bigger refrigerator.
I feel like I'm missing somebody, but that's everybody. Isn't it? 1, 2.
You're missing Wolf Witch.
Ah, yes. All right. The name Reliquary rings a bell. Not that you were really into the whole superhero scene, but you're pretty sure he was active back in the Second World War.
As in, work with the Nazis active, or just active?
Yeah, he was like Hitler's mystic expert.
Oh, it's the wizard Nazi! Really? Really?
Nazis? We get to fight Nazis?
Well, I mean, he worked with the wizard Nazis. I don't know if he was in the whole hates the Jews thing. It's
Close enough.
this is a nice guilt-free fight if you want to kick him in the face.
This still counts as Nazi fighting, right?
Sluggers, I'd count it as
So-
Nazi fighting.
I do too.
Sweet.
I am hardly a Nazi. I am confident
Well,
in
you
my
get-
own
anyway.
superiority, but that is because of my training and learning, not because of some innate bored with.
Hey, you know what historians call people who worked with the Nazis who weren't actually Nazis themselves?
Collaborators?
Nazis.
Oh. Would it make you feel any better if I assured you that I was only there to steal their artifacts?
No, you still help them. I mean, like, I'm the most morally bankrupt person I know, and
To be fair, early
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it did look like they were going to win.
I know, I was there. I mean, not working with the Nazis, but you know what, no, screw this. And
And once the Crucible joined with the Allies, well, then I was... Well, I couldn't give up the opportunity to go after him with that sort of backing behind me.
So you were out to steal artifacts, and
Then you
But-
found out you could do some revenge killing.
but you called Crucible a thief.
I think he's just pissy about his house.
The Crucible took something from me that was rightfully mine. What I was taking from the Nazis was things that they had already stolen. And in many cases had murdered the proper owners, so they were up for grabs, if you will.
Oh, I know. You're just a jaded ex, aren't you? 2010, folks.
That's is disgusting. Or Matt, excuse me. That, ma'am, is disgusting.
Hell hath no fury like a lackey scorned.
Yeah.
I was never the Crucible's lackey.
So this
I
is
pin him as more of a flunky myself. What do you think?
Slapshot, speak up. So this is a great talk about how much you hate a dude over a house, and I'm sure many other things that are
Or a
important.
house.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
It's a personal matter.
You want to be on TV?
Yes, that's great and all, but you've kind of now made two worlds fight each other over this personal matter.
I merely opened a door.
You knew what would happen if you opened the door.
Somewhat on accident. I had meant to use this to send them to an empty world. At which point I would then have their archives here to study at my leisure. It was a win-win. Unfortunately, I used a fragment, a piece of root, a cutting from the world tree of our world. I thought I could use it to tap into other worlds. But unfortunately, the easiest world to find with it was, of course, the one it was from.
Who
It
would
was
have
an
thought?
oversight on my part.
Oh, oh my god!
So to untether this world from Earth, we just need to destroy this tree.
Well, I have a ritual that'll. The Crucible gave us a ritual that'll take care of that problem.
I mean, I could just transmute its bark to water, or as much as I can. Which is a
Inorganics.
lot. Damn it! Then the dirt underneath it.
That's a lot of dirt. You're talking about a skyscraper-sized tree.
Besides, who says it only exists on a physical plane anyway?
We could burn it.
As you're talking, these two fancy guys start casting and touching the piece of amber.
Okay, we should probably end this. Can I? Well, Parker's gonna try and tear down this magical barrier.
All right, how you gonna do that?
Counterspell.
All right.
So that'd be a magic test versus a magic test.
Let's see. Is counterspell something they specified in Magic, or is that just the effect you're going for? Though.
Just the effect.
All right. There is some sort of nullify power or something in here for me. Yeah, what you're wanting to do is definitely doable. Mental blast, mimicry, mind control, nullification. Can completely negate the powers of another within extended range. Roll coordination versus coordination. Hit the target if successful. Subtract your nullification level from all the target's power levels. All right, so you'd be targeting the field in front of you. First, give me an occult roll to see if you can successfully cast a spell. And you are casting it at your full power level?
Yeah, I do not want to risk this not working.
Right. And your power level is a 7?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, so 8. So yes, you have the you have successfully cast the nullification spell. Go ahead and give me a coordination check. Though the difficulty is going to be super low because you're basically shooting a wall. Yeah, get those ones out early, I guess. Alright, then you are subtracting a 7 from the power level of the shield, which would essentially be the level of the wizard's casting its power level. And working together, they have a 7.
You sounded so excited.
None of that.
All right, so you see the shield go down. Now that was the kind of brightly colored one blocking the entrance. The dome over the entire courtyard, little area, or circle of stones, I should say, that is still up. That was apparently a different effect. But your way through is clear. So if you're going to initiate combat, we will need we will need a turn order. And everybody go ahead and give me coordination rolls. If you'll excuse me, I need to step away for just 1 second.
That's absolutely all right.
I'll be right back.
Be right back.
All right. Guess I'll swap these guys back since one of them actually has a name in the order. Alright, so I need to give Wolf Witch a turn, Architect a turn, Slapshot a turn, Imudan a turn, Monkey King a turn, and Everlast a turn. Alright. So Everlast got a 10. Monkey King got a 6. Imudan got a 6. Slapshot got a 10. Architect got a 6. Man, y'all got a lot of the same numbers. Wolf Witch got an 8.
We cheated.
Clearly. There's simply no other explanation. Alright, the Reliquary got a 10. And that wizard got a 7, and that wizard got a 7, and that wizard got a 7. No, that wizard got a 9. And that we got an 8. Alright. That should be everybody. Sort us in descending order. Top of the order is Everlast.
All right, so we've got a energy dome over the circular ziggurat, and the two front line mystics, are they inside or outside of that power dome?
Alright, the dome basically connects to the top of the standing stones.
Oh, okay. I
The
see.
entryway
So,
here is clear for y'all to run it. If you tried to fly in, you have to pass through that, so you don't know what it does. But
sweet. So we could. Okay. So we've got we've got access to. I see.
right.
Is it possible for me to, with my super speed of 4, which makes me, I think, as fast as a fast car, could I run up and just try to punch the reliquary?
The Reliquary?
Yeah, the reliquary.
Yes, you can make that distance, no problem with your super speed.
All right, I'll go ahead and shift myself up there. I assume that's where I would be placing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And I'll go ahead and try to throw a punch, and let's see what happens.
Alrighty.
I generated an 11 total.
Alright, so... The Reliquary... That is prowess.
Correct.
All right, you hit him. What is
Wait,
your
full-
strength?
The damage will be 8.
Yowza.
Yep, she's a physical powerhouse. No damage resistance though, so we'll see how this fight goes.
So you run up. He tries. He tries to dodge out of the way. He's clearly got some combat skill.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, you nail him pretty good. He grunts and stumbles back. You clearly hurt him, but he's definitely sturdier than a normal person.
And I'm in the midst of all the mages.
You don't know what kind of armor he's wearing, but while he took that lick, you don't think he would want to take too many more of them. Slapshot.
Yo.
You're up.
So we just wailing into them all, huh?
If you want to talk, you can try to talk. Look, guys, you really don't want to be doing this. You look like a good bunch of freaks.
I suppose I'll just kind of blade up to this here Aztec-inspired headdress looking guy and go ahead and just do my strike.
Alright, strike him. Oh, that's right. I've got the wizards put in here too, don't I? Alright. Wizards. Oh yeah, you hit him pretty good.
Alright, then my strike does 4 ranks and has the secondary effect of affliction. So, make a prowess test to touch your target. That's part of the strike. Strike touches. Then an affliction test against the higher of the target's strength or regeneration level.
He doesn't have regeneration, so that's going to be strength.
Strength. Alright. And
And you have to roll your affliction level.
which will be a 4 plus a 6. So
Alright, you beat him. So what does the affliction do?
alright. That's a marginal success.
Uh,
Moderate success.
That's moderate. You actually beat him,
Alright.
so.
Moderate success inflicts the affliction's level as stamina damage, ignoring damage resistance, but not affliction resistance. The affliction continues, and another test is required on the following page at the start of your panel.
Alright, how many? You said it was 4 ranks of that?
Yes.
So essentially he takes 8 damage.
Yes.
Alright, he is wobbling. You're pretty sure he's only standing up by strength of will. Next up is the reliquary. First, he's going to roll this.
You're upsetting the dogs, Zach, with your play.
All right. What was the name of the sect you were a part of, Everlast?
It was the Paragons of Order.
And you wear some kind of. You had something that.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. I'm not sure what, but the costume design, it's got an Ankh motif, which would probably, if I ever find an image that represents her final costume, it'll probably have a similar kind of iconography. But as far as the Paragons of Order, yeah, I haven't really thought about what that might be. But I must have. I'm sure I have something that would set me as that would identify as a member of that group.
But you're like the chosen one of that group, or was there a title for what you were?
I haven't thought of one yet. I just have the name Zansu, which is the name of the champion whose spirit is resting in my body.
Okay.
And power. So, is there anything? Are you looking for anything in particular? Something that would?
Not really.
Like,
the reliquary just says something to let you know that he knows who you're affiliated with.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, young lady, you are associated with an order with quite an extensive history.
Yeah, that.
How do those paragons of virtue fare these days?
This hurts her because if I recall what I'd established for my origin, I'm the only one left of that order. I was kind of like wobbling about whether I wanted like my parents to still be alive. I kind of go back and forth. I know I started the last session being kind of like being on the streets, which would hint that her parents are no more along with the rest of her order, unfortunately. So yeah, I think if we can just continue running off that, I think she would grit her teeth and say you're and just like say hurtfully, yeah, you know, you're looking at it basically.
Oh.
When he asks how the order's doing.
Well, that is a shame, my dear. They had a long and storied history. It's a shame it's going to end here today. And he will try to slash you with his spear.
Okay.
He's got his strike, his prowess, plus his weapon skill. Let's see, how many weapons do you have? He had those two. All right. All right, give me a prowess roll.
Okay. Here comes my evasion. I also with modified by martial arts.
Here's loot.
No, that should be factored into the roll, though, right?
Yes, that's already in there.
Okay. All right, so he beat you by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Outcomes. Succeeds significantly. This is a killing attack. Alright, you take 5 points for damage.
Okay.
He is just not nice.
Oh, I'm reading the notation there. This isn't just any spear I see.
No, it's a specific spear.
Yep.
Alright. Alright, now. That was a moderate. Oh, no, that was a major. Hang on a second. Because he beat you by 3. 2 would be a moderate, so yeah, it gets into major. Give me a strength roll versus his damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's not good.
For him or me?
Well, he will have to roll, but it's a d6 plus his damage.
Yep. Okay.
All right. On a major or massive, an attack achieves a potential kill outcome and inflicts 0 or more stamina damage to the target after a resistance test. Test the full damage level against the target's strength. Attacks inflicting less than 0 stamina cannot kill a target. Since you fail, reduce the target's stamina to 0 and render the character unconscious.
Oh, this is actually delightful because in the original version of this character, she's got her base set in the Egyptian land of the dead, and originally the way she gets there is by basically being on the verge of death, and then she kind of like just shifts over to her secret base within the land of the dead. I have the entry condition being a performance, assuming she has to like just do some kind of like mystic ritual thing. But depending on how you feel, if you want to kick that in, you're welcome to. I'm just letting you know that's kind of part of that can also play into my quality of Anubis wants his betrothed back. So feel free to twist the knife as deeply as you like.
Let's see. Well, getting to your base is something you'd have to actually activate. So,
yeah, the way it's written right here, I was just throwing ideas out about yeah, I'm not trying to like save my hide. If anything, I figure getting ported that back there would make things more dangerous for me since Anubis might detect me. But I'm just throwing that bit out.
Your stamina drops to 0.
Yeah.
And on the following page and each page thereafter, the character loses a level of strength. When the strength falls to 0, the character dies.
Okay.
Now, somebody with a medical skill could go up and stabilize you. Anybody with healing magic, The first time that's worked. Alright, next up is this mage down here. And he is going... Let's see, they had a 7 working together, so that means he's only got a 5. Let's see, he was keeping that main field up, so his personal field would not be up yet. And he is going to fire a blast at... He saw Wolf Witch cast a spell and negate his force shield, so he's going to shoot at her. Kind of as a obvious spellcaster. So this would be coordination plus his skill with his magic. Alright, Zach, you need to dodge a 7.
Oh, nice.
See, I had hopes without you playing Recluse that I could actually hit you at some point.
I'm sorry.
You don't sound sorry.
I mean, it's funny, but it's also really sad, and I feel bad.
So fire rakes down those couple of stones as you duck out of the way. And then it is your turn.
What? I'm just gonna turn into a wolf. I got that spell mastered, so I can just do it like that.
Yep.
And I'm gonna jump on him.
You don't know what he was expecting, but this clearly was not what he was expecting. Alright, so you beat him by 1. So how much damage do you do with your teeth?
3 down.
Oh, I see where it says it now. All right. He's swatted away. He's freaking out like somebody that's got a fear of dogs, actually.
Huh.
Or maybe he's just not familiar with what a dog is.
I mean, all the more for me. Or all the better for us.
All the more for me.
Uh-oh.
All right. Next up is the Wizard Slapshot Zone. He is actually going to spend this action and raising his force shield, trying to get him some protection.
Oh man, that's gonna be funny.
Why is that?
Nothing, no reason.
Well, he doesn't know how your powers work. So. All right, the wizard up here seems to just be casting a spell involving that amber. Oh, and then his buddy goes, who also casts a spell. Let's see, we'll mark it on him as to how well it is. That's 2 successes. Well, 1 for him and 1 for him. All right. See, Brian had to step away, but Monkey King still gets to go. Assuming I can find him in this big list of characters. Ah, there we are, the Monkey King. He is going to leap up here. In this round, he is going to pop the unarmored guy. So that is, well, that was his attempt to attack versus the wizard's dodge. Okay, so a glancing blow doesn't really do anything. Emodan, you're up.
Okay. First, I'm going to swing my mace, but do I have to use an attack to sprout my wings?
Not unless you have a limitation on your flight. If you've got your
no,
flight,
I don't have a limitation.
You know,
and I'm not going to use them. I just wanted to look impressive.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And you know, I'll say, Reliquary, we've listened to your pathetic story about your tale of woe and the loss of your house. I am Emodan the Purifier, and I am here to punish the wicked. And so I'll sprout my wings, but they'll be all kind of fiery, and I'll swing my mace. But this is a new character for me, and these are new powers. So you'll have to help me with the mechanics.
Okay.
on the mace. He's got fire control 4, and it's a hellfire mace is an extra for that. So do I like roll prowess and add 4 to it, and then 4 to the damage? I don't know. I don't know how the mechanics of that works.
All right. Was Hellfire a listed extra, or is that something specific?
A hellfire weapon is listed as an extra under fire control.
So fire control. Oh right, it'd be energy control. Okay. Energy control. Elemental control. Elemental control.
See if you've got great power, if that's what we're using, it is page 60.
Okay, I've just got.
No, that's dimension control. I'm sorry.
I've just got the main book, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, never mind then.
Just read off what you know. If you can find it, just read off whatever Hellfire is.
Sure. The
does it function like a mental blast or something, where it bypasses damage reductions and so forth, or?
It does work. For Hellfire, you control mystical Hellfire rather than normal flames. Your fire can burn target spirit, inflicting damage like mental blast power. You may be able to develop mystical extras like Hellfire weapons, etc., etc., etc.
Okay. So basically, you could hit him with Hellfire from a distance, or with the mace bashing thing you've got. You could run up and physically hit him with it,
Right.
and then it would do the extra effect like Slapshot's got on his.
Yeah. Which is, I thought that would be more fun to
Yeah.
swing the mace at him.
So you're gonna fly up to him and hit him, or are you just gonna kind of blast the fire out of the mace at him?
No, I'll fly up to him and hit him.
Okay.
So is that prowess, or is it prowess plus my? Is it just plain prowess?
To hit him, yes, because you don't have a weapon specialty or anything. So
Right. Okay.
it'd be hit your prowess versus his prowess.
No, that wasn't too good. No, well, no, it wasn't. Never mind.
Oh, you just barely managed to get a. Well, I say barely. You get a decent lick on him. You beat him by 1. So how much damage does the mace do? Just close your shit.
Well, is it? My strength is 4. My fire control is 5, or is 4 also. Would that be an 8 damage?
No, it does not add up like that.
Okay.
Since the bashing part is essentially a strike, it would be
Right.
It would be the higher of the two. I think you get a +1 out of it. So I think you'd be hitting for a 5 there.
Okay.
So
Yeah. See, that's where I was confused as how the mechanics of that worked.
all right, he's got some damage reduction for the bashing part of it. Then the 4 ranks of essentially just the hellfire that he has to resist with his willpower. Give me a roll +4 that he will then have to resist with his willpower. He's got mental resistance, which will help him. Or actually, Hellfire. No. I would say that mental resistance would not fall under that, just because it works kind of like Mental Blast does. Doesn't actually make it a mental
You got
total.
a good roll though, anyway.
Well, after all
I
the
did
ones and
not.
twos I've had, it's about time. So he manages to resist the damage of the hellfire. His soul is well protected.
Not for long. I'll have to bow out pretty soon, guys.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get this wrapped up, but so he takes that one lick, he resists the hellfire, he kind of steps back. Hellfire. Makes me wonder if you're an angel from above or below.
I'll just shrug my shoulders.
Huh. I apparently skipped the architect. Oh, wait, but Anna goes after Emma Dunn anyway. Okay, architect, you're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Go.
walk over here, and as I'm walking by this wall right here, I'm gonna clap my hands and touch it. I'm gonna pull a spear out of it. Not really a spear, more of a staff, just a sharpened point. And I'm gonna jab it at this guy.
A big stone toothpick.
Yes. A little more metal, but sure. As long as it's pointy.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't have to be made of stone. You're not reshaping it. You're actually transmuting the elements itself.
Yeah.
All right, give me a stabby roll.
I don't think I've ever used a weapon before. What do I use to roll for that?
That would be prowess, because it's still kind of a close combat attack.
Okie dokie. I skewer him like a kebab.
All right, what is your strength?
A 5, I believe. Yep, 5.
All right. Let me check how much his force shield is. A spear would be at least... the spear at least give you a +1, so... Alright. And this guy had a 5 magic. So only 1 point gets in.
Oh.
But you beat his roll by so much that give me a roll +6 because he has to use his strength to resist the damage because you got a killing effect on him. You know, just like what happened to Everlast earlier. Yeah, you need to roll a 6. Let's see.
Is that what you wanted? I rolled my strength.
Well, you'd also have the +1 for the spear's damage. Because what you rolled is the total damage of the attack is what he's got to resist. So that'd be an 11 instead of a 10. So he's got to resist against an 11 with his puny strength. Yeah, he goes down. All right, top of the order is Everlast, and she had an 8 strength, correct?
Yes, and now it's 7.
Yep.
Let's see, what's the best place to mark that? I'll do like a...
If you click on the token, it should bring up all the little circles.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I have put a 7 in the blue. Can you see it?
Yes, great, thank
Okay.
you. Lie there bleeding, I presume?
Yes.
Bleed, bleed, bleed.
Slap shot.
See, where's our person that's almost down?
It is
Right at the
Everlast
pinnacle.
over here.
Oh, that's real distant. Uh,
I would say
Well,
you
we
can
ain't
get through
we ain't exactly in desperation mode yet, though. So I'll run up to this hooded man and attempt to strike him.
it. Okay. All right, you definitely struck him.
All right, and then
What kind of damage you doing?
the strike, 4 plus the possible affliction.
All right, he has his shield up.
Okay, then get back there.
So do you have something that gets through to protections or?
Is that shield working as damage reduction? Or
I believe that's how force shield works, is damage reduction.
all right, then the regular damage will not go through.
But you made
it
contact,
doesn't.
so the affliction still.
But I make contact to the affliction, which ignores damage reduction.
All right, he resists that with what?
Strength or regeneration level.
He is mighty.
It is a moderate success or better, so inflict the afflictions level as stamina damage. So 4.
All right. He kind of cries out. Then it is the reliquaries go.
Boo! Hiss.
All right. Okay. It's 4:00. Is everybody good to continue
I'm
going?
gonna have to bug out at any minute.
Yeah, and I've got another thing coming up, so I need to rest up a bit before that.
In that case, we will go ahead and just wrap here. And basically, we will start up the next session. We'll do kind of like we did the last one.
The next round.
We will start up, finish this fight, do the wrap up, and then probably switch back over to. Well, actually, there's more to this than just the fight. I don't know that it'll take a whole session. Well, we'll start up here, and then we may segue back in or switch back over to the government team, Spear, if we wrap up with the Haunted.
Cool.
That'll work.
But we will keep the initiative order where it's at. So, anybody that comes by later and watches this, I hope you enjoyed it. Want to thank my players. Again, we had Curtis playing Emmerdon. We had Mike playing Everlast. We had Brian playing the Monkey King. Taylor playing Slapshot. Anna playing the Architect. And Zach playing Wolf Witch. And myself as the Reliquary. And, all the other douchebags. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.